Welcome back to the Black Squadron podcast live on YouTube and Facebook.
Hello, Facebook.
Yeah, so it's kind of a skeleton crew here today with BSP. So it's me, Mari, and Slade this week. So do us a favor and keep Cam and David and your thoughts. May the force be with them. So yeah, guys, we've made it 59 movies in, and we're to the Last Jedi. Actually, how many movies have we done?
This is 10, I think.
10? Yeah, because there's 11, right, total?
Yeah. Math.
Yeah.
Math.
Math is so hard.
Any Star Wars news this week? I don't think there really has been, right?
It's been 2 weeks since we were on. We took last week off.
It's true. Yeah, we were all reared up and ready to go last week for a live show, and then real life happened, so we had to postpone a week.
So what happened? I know Light of the Jedi released the first chapter as like a preview, so you can go check that out.
A little teaser.
I'm pretty sure the reveal event with the gameplay footage of Squadrons happened in that time.
Which looks awesome.
And Squadrons looks amazing. It's, but I'm gonna buy a VR for this freaking game.
Yeah, that game is tailor made for this podcast.
Seriously. So are we gonna call it right now? Are we gonna be different? Like a bomber, an A-wing. I'm sure we'll have episodes talking just about that.
I want to be an A-wing.
You are an A-wing.
I am an A-wing. I guess I should be the B-wing since I'm VP, but here we are.
I haven't looked too much at it. Can I be a TIE fighter?
If you're on the wrong squadron.
Well, no, because we can be Imperials.
It's true. Do whatever we want, really.
That's true. I mean, if we wanted to do like gameplay together, yeah, I guess it would make sense to be on the same squadron. Yeah.
Semper Fi Danny has joined us.
Hi, Danny.
Slade's having some technical issues. We'll get him back in here in a minute. So Squadrons looks incredible. I'm pretty excited about it.
I will have to get it on PC.
Oh, yeah. You're building a PC anyway, so that's perfect.
I get it this weekend. I'm so excited.
Nice. Well, we can actually use you as the hub to stream on YouTube.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Because it is, from what I understand, cross-platform play.
Oh, good. That was actually my next question.
Because you're PC, I'm Xbox, Slade is PlayStation, David's Xbox, and so is Cam. So,
oh wow,
it's just you guys are Xbox.
Is he coming back in?
I don't know, but I like how the screen looks right now. Just Ray looking over us.
Yeah.
I like those prints on your wall. Where'd you get those?
I have no idea. My little sister showed up to my birthday and was like, I buy you something really cool. And she, like, when my little sister is hyped about something she got me, it's usually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I have no idea where she got them.
I have so much stuff behind me. I wish my camera could pick up more.
I need to bring home like all of my pop figures. Because, I mean, I have so many Star Wars. I mean, I have so many in general, but they're literally all at work.
All my Star Wars Funko Pops, with the exclusion of the Mandalorian set, are in my basement in a box.
Oh, no.
I decided to just put my helmets up on display here.
That makes sense. I mean, they look really good there.
I love my helmets.
They're so cool.
And like 90% of my Batman stuff is at my office, at my actual office.
Yeah, I have that giant Thor banner hanging at my office. Hi, Alberto.
For those of you who joined us, we're still waiting on Slade to jump back in. I guess we could just start with we're doing, for anybody who's new, 5 ups, 3 downs. What we do is each of us pick 5 things we liked and 3 things we disliked from each Star Wars movie. And we've gone through all of them up until this point. So if you haven't seen or heard them, go to our podcast, check them out, or there's a bunch of them here on YouTube that you can watch. Wrong account. What are you doing, Radio Rebellion? Fun fact, I can't smell. I don't have the ability to smell. I've never have. But seltzer water and beer taste exactly the same to me.
I guess that's nice. Like, it's hard to get a craving.
Yeah, it's so weird.
That's bizarre to me, because I get cravings like just out of nowhere. I mean, obviously that's what a craving is, but to not have cravings for sweets or things like that would be really great.
Oh, and we're back.
Oh, there he is.
And he's gone again.
Oh no.
Hello.
All right. Well, you're just in time. I was given the rundown on what 5 ups, 3 downs is. So yeah, again, this is 5 ups, 3 downs. We pick 5 things we like, 3 things we didn't like. Even if there was more than 3 things we didn't like, we try to stick to 3 things each to kind of stay with our brand of being overly positive than negative. So let's just jump into this. Who wants to go first tonight? Slade. Go ahead, Slade. Your first like.
Okay. So being with our brand of being overly positive, I mean, this is the movie for Star Wars and I, where it's a little tough. To be honest, there's some. If I had to pick one movie to say, hey, don't watch, it'd probably be this one. To people. But there are some good things. You know, there are some things I did like. Poe is incredible. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. My first like, I'm pretty sure this was my first one for The Force Awakens, is going to be Poe. He's not only an awesome actor, a badass pilot, the best pilot in the ever. So Poe keeps the movie going for me. Absolutely. Even if he's a moron at points.
I had a problem with him in this one.
He's a handsome dummy for sure.
Yeah,
he did.
I did like that little subtle when they're saying who should take over for Leia.
Oh my gosh.
His face, he's kind of like, they're going to pick me. And they don't, and he's like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. All right, your first dislike, your first down.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the first one being from the technical production aspect of the film. There were a lot of parts that didn't flow right. For instance, when they get in these, when they leave Holdo from the big ship and they get on the smaller ships to get to, is it Crate? Is that the salt planet? Mm-hmm. To get to Crate, they show as wide an angle as they can, and there's 12 ships. I counted them, and it's all of them. And then they're like, oh yeah, we spotted 40 ships. And I'm like, where the fuck are there 40 ships? So then they go back to another thing, and there's like 9 ships, and then some of them are blowing up. And they always do a lot of wide shots showing the entire group, and it always changes numbers. It fluctuates in and out, in and out. And then they replay the same freaking shot of a ship getting shot. Like they use the same clip twice. And it was freaking annoying. I'm like, guys, you have a pretty decent budget here. You can computerize another ship and blow it up again. But they use the same fucking shot. And it really, that part really irked me.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. And I'll specifically say the ships and how many ships there are and how that kind of goes fluctuating bugged me. Yeah, that's my dislike.
Okay. Mara, you're up.
Hi, Bama. My first like was I loved the whole, so feeding off of Poe, his call to hugs, his whole phone call with that was hysterical.
I'm holding for General Hugs.
This is General Hux.
I hated it the first time I saw it.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hated that so much.
Really? I loved it.
I loved it.
I thought it was so funny because like it's so tense, and you're like, what's he gonna do? And then he's just a total smart ass, and oh my god, it was so funny, and it was classic.
I don't know why I don't know why it bugged me so much. So like my very first video on Uncanny Nerd on our YouTube channel is from the day this movie was released, because I saw the first showing, and then the next morning, like at 9 a.m., I just recorded myself talking about it, and that was the first thing I mentioned in my oh my god, what the hell was that? I don't know why it bugged me so much.
I remember that video.
Yeah.
I got this little goatee thing going on.
I like it. Yeah, Poe, that opening scene is great for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good.
I'll say it runs a little long with all the exploding of the resistance, but
yeah.
Other than that, I'll save it for my next like. Never mind. All right. Your first down, Mari.
My first dislike was actually Poe. His whole refusal to like allow the resistance, like the escape, and his just determination to destroy a dreadnought. Like, you're a very small group from the resistance. There's like nothing left, and you really want to risk it all to blow up one dreadnought. That doesn't seem as smart as we saw.
Like, he would be aware how few they are.
Yeah.
That there's like 5 big ships left, and that's it.
Exactly. So it was compared to the first movie. It's like, did you lose IQ between the first movie and this one? Like,
I guess he had some brass balls after that first one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to know how terrible at defending themselves those bombers were.
Yeah.
Awful. We got our first like in the comments. Definitely tell us your ups and downs for the movie. We'll read them. The first one is from Simplified Danny. Like, it allowed fans to get used to Star Wars projects looking different from what we are used to seeing visually on live screen. Would we have adjusted to Mando's as well visually, if not for The Last Jedi? We got there. A little Darth Vader saber. Uh-oh.
I agree. I mean, a big problem people had with The Force Awakens was how similar it was to, A New Hope. It followed a lot of the same beats. There's nothing really like this movie in the Star Wars universe. It's completely unique in that, and I think that part of it's a pretty cool thing.
It's true.
Although Obama did also have a like.
True.
Bombadeus.
So there's a like and a dislike in one, which I have one of those as well coming up. But it's when Luke gets his milk from the sea cow.
Like, I don't get that part of the movie.
It was not necessary.
I guess he's just trying to scare her away.
And then when the creature like looks at Rey, like, yep. Like,
so I did some research on that character, and I'm blanking on the name, of course, but I just wanted to see how they got used to being milked. Because they clearly were just chilling.
Yeah.
Probably the caretakers. They probably milk them often.
That probably wasn't helped, but the thing on Wikipedia said is they've seen so few people on that island, and the people they have seen have never posed any sort of threat, that they didn't even take them seriously. So that's why they were just cool with getting milked.
I guess.
We got another like in the comments from Radio Rebel, a Star Wars podcast. Check them out.
Radio Rebellion.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, math, reading stuff.
Reading.
Luke's understanding of the Jedi flaws and how they need to change their way of thinking. Yup.
One of my favorite lines of the movie, it's not Luke, but it's a similar thought of that, was Yoda telling him to I told you to pass on what you have learned. That means the mistakes, all the stuff, not just, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Yoda said it best, right? Greatest teacher failure is.
Yeah.
It only took him 1,000 years to figure that out. All right, so my first yeah, or go ahead.
No, I was going to give you a lead in for your first but you're on top of it, buddy.
My first will be Captain Kennedy. So the captain of the Dreadnought. I wish we had gotten an entire film of that guy. He looked so imperial, you know what I mean? Like, you could tell he actually served in the Empire, and he was so sick of these millennial orders.
He's what I wished Hux was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what Hux's dad was.
Yeah.
And then Hux killed him. Spoiler.
Probably on accident.
My first dislike, I'll leave the low-hanging fruit till the end. I really, really, really don't like that Rose stopped Finn from blowing up the ram from his Independence Day scene, if you will. I thought that would have been a great ending for Finn. Obviously, he would have died, but that would have been a really cool sacrifice yourself for the rebellion kind of deal. It would have been a major blow on the First Order too. So it was odd to me that they chose to do that.
So since you're making it a dislike, it's not me piling on another dislike. I'm just talking about your dislike here.
Mm-hmm.
Rose goes this way. Finn goes this way, full speed. How the hell does Rose, whichever one Rose is, circle around and still get in front of him? She had to cover more than double the distance, because not only just turn around, but then she had to go off to the side and come over. How?
Maybe he was getting resistance from the laser drill.
Ooh, you're a genius. That might be it. He should have come at it from the side.
He should have. Going straight down was dumb.
I don't think they thought that far about it, but yeah.
It'd been really cool if he would have, right before he got hit, if he would go, "Do you remember me?" Like Randy Quaid.
Here's your traitor.
All right, so Slade, you're next.
Since we're talking about Rose, I loved how starstruck Rose was of Finn when she first saw him. I think that's so cute and so fun. I liked that part. The Finn? Yeah. And then she's about business though. She's like, "Oh, you were trying to steal this thing." Done. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Finn got a taste of what him and Rey did to Han and Chewie. The Han Solo?
Yeah.
Right?
He got his own little taste of it.
14 parsecs? Yeah. All right, Slade, you're next.
All right. Oh, God. I don't even know. I got 17 of these. Okay, I did not like that there's so much awkwardness with the shirtless Kylo Ren, but just having a guy shirtless, that's not awkward. That shouldn't have been a problem. Rey's grown up around people. She's probably seen guys without shirts. We just saw a sea cow getting milked. Her reaction to him without a shirt, I thought, was very excessive and pushed. Like, "Oh, can you put something on?" Like his balls are hanging out. But it was just a shirtless dude.
What movie were you watching?
Right? So him being shirtless and her being so bothered with it kind of both irked me a little. He just looked weird with it.
I think the costuming wasn't fair to his physique.
Well, he wore pants that rose up to past his ribs,
Mhm.
And was the
That's called
point of
comfort.
that?
That's called
Was the
comfort.
point of that to hide his scar, so they didn't have to show it?
So they didn't have to do the makeup for it?
Like,
What?
it makes no sense to have pants to actually go that high for anybody, unless you're pregnant and you have the like pull up thing.
So like, and if you think of Kylo Ren's costume, he's got that belt around the midsection.
Over.
But it's over.
Yeah.
So are you wearing two belts when you're wearing that?
Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me that's a low hanging fruit, but I took it.
Oh, wait till you get to one of Mari's next likes.
One
Same
of my
thing.
likes.
Shirtless Kylo Ren.
Shirtless Kylo Ren. Was it Danny who said it was in the spank bank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Celebration, they brought that up on the panel, and they were kind of it was Stephen Colbert, I believe, right? Was he the host?
Yeah.
So he said he started talking about how beefy Adam Driver is, and Daisy Ridley didn't pick up on the sexual innuendo at all. And she just goes, "He's a big man." Everybody on stage was like, "Oh my god." So that's what I think of now when I watch this movie and see Kylo Ren with no shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
We have a dislike in the comments. So before Mari gets into her next dislike. So Simplified Danny dislike. It bothered me, especially more post The Rise of Skywalker, but the lack of interaction with Rey, Poe, and Finn as a trio.
It's non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also says, Danny also says, "Yeah, I have zero problems. Thirsty hoes be hoes." It's true.
Yep.
All right, Mari, you're next down.
I'm gonna go for it because we only have one left after this.
Do it.
Leia floating through space.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this doesn't even need to be discussed. Like, what were they thinking?
I have no problems with her surviving.
I don't have a problem with her surviving.
It's the visual of
Yep.
The artistic decisions that were made. There's a reason they didn't win an Oscar on that one.
It literally looks like they put her on like a plank and then like pulled the plank forward. And like,
they may have.
yeah. And it was just
It looked like it was a cardboard cutout of her.
and that was the
forward.
other thing. It's like it looks heavily digitized, and it's just kind of like there's a lot wrong with that scene.
Yeah, I remember seeing that the first time in the theater, and I like shifted in my seat, like, oh god.
I think I might have guffawed, like sitting in my seat.
I mean, when it first happened, when she first got sucked out, I was like, this is perfect, because the music was great.
Yeah.
She was floating dead in space, and I was like, this is Leia's send off. This is Carrie Fisher's send off. And then she moved.
You're like, what?
Once they moved to her face, I was like, they're gonna make this bitch wake up.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna be alive. And
You watch your language when you're talking about my princess
I apologize.
and my general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I was just like, I can't believe they just did that.
Yeah, I think the internet calls it skywalking.
That's brilliant.
Or Leia Poppins, of course. But,
I haven't heard either of those. Good job, interwebs.
all right, so my next is going to be the throne room fight scene
So
between
good.
Kylo and Rey versus the Praetorian Guards.
Yes.
I love it. The choreograph, it's choreographed very nicely. The visual of the all red badass guards. All their weapons were designed to combat lightsabers, which is really cool. It really showed how much of a badass Kylo Ren really is, because he didn't even use like his force ability to fight off these elite guards. You know what I mean? Like he has the ability to literally freeze people, walk up to them and stab them. But he chose not to do that, just to gain Rey's allegiance or try to get her to come to him. So he didn't use the force or any of his abilities other than just being a straight badass swordsman to try to win this girl over to join his cause, which is kind of cool.
She should have done it too.
Raylo.
She wanted to take Ben's hand. So, and my next dislike is the
Same
throne room, is the throne room fight scene.
Yes.
So everything I said is still valid. Everything I just said, I still obviously agree with because I said it myself. What I don't like is in the middle of that fight scene, there is an unnecessary cut away to Poe and Finn for like 20 seconds of really not necessary information. They went from an awesome fight scene in the middle of it, somewhere completely else, took you out of it, and then brought you back to finish the fight scene. Completely unnecessary, and it really pisses me off. So yeah, and Rey was awesome in that too when she is being held and she drops her lightsaber and then when she throws it to Ben and he does it too, or I'm sorry, Kylo Ben, if you will. So yeah, that's my up and down. So
nice.
Slade, you're next.
I absolutely loved, probably my favorite part of the movie, the Kylo and Rey Force connections that they had.
Yeah.
And seeing their very disturbing relationship blossom. I don't mean relationship like I just mean their connection to each other and them realizing they have a lot in common and they feel a lot of the same things and that there is some type of a connection there. I really, really like that part of the whole movie.
Mm-hmm. And one of those scenes where they're force bridged, I think is what they called it. When Kylo Ren comes out of his quarters and he slides across the hallway, and he looks like Han Solo when Han Solo slides across one of the hallways. It's like that's such a good like throwback. It's like super small. Before you get into your down, we got a couple comments here from Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. Like every scene with Snoke, which has got to be, you have to be in the minority for that one. Not for me personally. I enjoyed Snoke. Andy Serkis is amazing.
I really like Snoke. Mm-hmm. I wish that I'm not going to use a dislike on this, but damn, they gave him a cheesy ending. You don't build up someone for 2 movies like they did, and then just he's gone like that. I don't know. I did not like that.
Cool. I still think it was cool the way they did it because he was literally reading Ben's mind.
Yeah. So it was cool how it was done.
But when?
I don't know. Maybe if that was like a second tier guy, you don't take out the big bad guy. We find out later he's not really the big bad guy, but you know what I mean? Yeah. It left a lot of, well, what the hell for the next movie. Yeah.
All right. So Radio Rebellion also has a dislike listed, and it is Luke over the shoulder lightsaber throw. I have 0. I actually personally have 0 issues with that. At that point, he is closed off from the Force. He hates people. I get it. I resonate with that. Boy, we got a bunch of likes here. All right, Simplified Danny. I love the Force connections, and most especially the new potential abilities of the Force that could carry into the series.
Like when he's sitting there with Rey, and then he comes out of it, and he has water on him.
Yeah,
like we're seeing, even in here, they're laying the seeds for what's going to happen in the next movie, where there's like more substantial connections and interactions.
Yeah. Like
God, I just got chills thinking of the lightsaber pass.
Yep.
in the next movie.
That's so sick. God, that's so good. I love Leia's saber. We'll get into that next.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
Slade.
excited to watch that movie now.
Your next and final down.
Oh, come on. Okay, my last down for this movie, because I promised I'm only going to have 3. Nothing about the bombers make any sense. They're space bombers. Gravity, having bombs go down wouldn't really work. I hate Hux. Why does Finn, who's a stormtrooper, he knew everything about Starkiller Base and where the thing was and what this was, but he also mopped Star Destroyers and where this thing was. How much did this fucking stormtrooper do? How many different places did he work before he became a stormtrooper? That's ridiculous. How this one stormtrooper actually knew all these things is nuts. They said they had 18 hours of fuel, and then they're like, oh, we have 6 hours of fuel. And then they just had like no fuel and they were done and nothing happened. But in that whole time, Rose and Finn flew across the galaxy to the casino and flew back. That took more than 13 hours or whatever it took for them to do that whole mission. The iron coming down, I hate the iron. The iron is so stupid. Why is the iron even there? Oh God. When Finn goes, "Let's go Chrome Dome," I hate it. It was so stupid. Don't say that. It just, I don't know. That's not how sound works in space, by the way. So when they're flying around and you hear the booms and stuff, it doesn't happen. What else?
I think that's more for us than them.
Rey attacking Luke seemed totally out of place. He just came in and said, "Oh no, what was it?" He told her, "Hey, I did this thing and it was bad," and she goes up and tries to jump him, like from the back, and she swings on him. Well, why? You just talk to the man.
That's the Palpatine blood.
Like, that seemed totally out of place and weird. Okay, there's like 10 more, but I'm good.
We'll do honorable mentions when we're done.
No, I don't need any. I'm okay.
What's up, 2med2? Welcome. So Mari, next up, please and thank you.
We mentioned like a bunch of them. The creatures, some of the creatures in this movie are pretty good. So the Fathiers and the foxes, I don't remember what they're called now for some reason.
Oh God,
Crystal foxes.
Yeah, Thylax.
That's almost close. I don't remember, but I liked them.
Vaporeon? Vaporeon?
No,
I can't pronounce it.
There's an X in it. I know that.
He's saying Pokemon names.
Charmander.
And then the horse track creatures are called Fathiers.
Mm-hmm.
They're so pretty. And like the fact that Rose was in love with them, and we got like a little bit of backstory to her, a little bit more, because obviously with her sister we knew.
Yeah.
But I really liked the creatures in this, and the Porgs, obviously. The Porgs.
The creatures and the aliens at Canto Bight is the saving grace of that whole scene, in my opinion. The whole Canto Bight.
Yeah.
I could do without the entirety of Canto Bight.
Yeah, me too.
It definitely felt a little bit like forced, I guess. Like they were trying to put in this additional aspect to build a relationship with Finn and Rose, but it was like it was cool. It was still like it had neat ideas. There's
one scene in it I really like. It's when BB-8 takes out the guards and DJ comes around the corner. He's like, "Did you do that?"
I don't know if I was imagining a high end, and this is a problem a lot of fans have, is they always say, "Oh, but that's not how I would have done it." It's not my place to do anything. It's the Star Wars universe. I take what they give me. That doesn't the casino didn't seem like a Star Wars casino though, even a high end one. You know, to me, tuxedos shouldn't be a thing in the Star Wars galaxy. They should have their own totally different looking thing, not tuxedos.
Yeah.
What did they do in Fifth Element when they were at the opera? Were they in tuxedos?
Flossed in Paradise.
Yes, they were.
They had variations of tuxedos. Like the one dude had the bow tie and the cut sleeves.
Yep.
Like he looked more Flossed in Paradise looked more Star Wars than Last Jedi did.
Okay.
Lost in Paradise.
All right, Mari,
I love the Fifth Element.
Did you give a dislike? I'm sorry if you did.
I didn't.
Okay.
My last dislike.
Only one now.
I know.
Slave gave 42, but
I know he took like half of them. Okay, this one's kind of like easy. I wanted more Phasma. Give me more Phasma.
Breach.
I wanted more Chrome Dome.
Don't we all?
Totally agree with this comment. Solo did upscale better than The Last Jedi with Dryden's yacht.
That's what came to my mind when you started saying that that's not Star Wars casino. Like immediately I went to Dryden's yacht. Yeah.
See,
Yeah, I agree with your Phasma comment, though. They built her up so much for The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Again, promo material. There's things at McDonald's. She's a big part of the toys. In it for a minute and a half, and loses a fist fight to Finn. I don't know. Finn, I guess he's a stormtrooper, but whatever.
He's a big deal.
Yeah. Okay, big deal.
Okay, big deal.
You got a bigger problem.
You got a bigger problem.
My problem with Star Wars is when they bring in these well-known actors like Benicio del Toro and Justin Theroux, who was the master codebreaker. Yeah. They are so, to me, they take me out of the story because I know them as themselves, but not a character in Star Wars. Like, there's some actors for me I can't watch just because I see them as themselves and not who they're.
Well, that's why Rey and Finn worked so well. That's why Hayden Christensen worked instead of like Leonardo DiCaprio for the prequels.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor did fine because he's just amazing. But I
mean, you could argue he wasn't super well known when he started in the prequels.
Have you seen Moulin Rouge?
I mean, I have seen Moulin Rouge. It's incredible. So I guess it's my turn, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see here. I got my list. My next I'll go with the holdover maneuver.
Oh, that was mine.
I remember watching it in the theater because it's beautifully shot scene. Well, shot. So she does her deal, takes out all these Star Destroyers, and the sound goes out. Awesome. However, in my theater, some dummies thought the movie broke and started yelling out, "Sound's broken!" I was like, welcome to your first trip to the movies.
So this must have been a very common thing, because on my second viewing, there were signs up around that said something like, at an hour in, the sound purposely goes out for 15 seconds. This is not a problem with the movie. Just be prepared for it. Because I guess a lot of people complained about that.
Yeah,
I totally understood what it meant when I watched it, that it was an artistic choice.
I didn't. I was really confused. I didn't say anything, and no one in my theater said anything, but I was like, wait, did the movie just break because of that badass maneuver she just pulled? Like, did the sound just explode and now we're done? And then I came back and I was like, oh, that was actually really cool.
Yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous. And I thought that sound addition to it catches your breath. It makes you not want to make a sound.
Yep. Yeah, so powerful. Yeah, that was such a great artistic choice for a movie.
That was a like that Danny said earlier too. We just missed it.
Cool. Sorry about that.
I was just saying, props, Danny. That is a legit like.
My next dislike is one that Danny just put up too. So I'll put it up here and say mine at the same time. I did not like that R2 and Luke were in this movie together, but had almost no interaction. Aside from when they're on the...
It was like 20 seconds, yeah.
On the Falcon. Yeah. But that scene did confirm something we all have thought for many years, that R2 is a potty mouth. Language, sacred island. So yeah, I would have liked to seen, obviously.
I mean, he's a droid.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I don't seem to remember owning a droid. All right,
goddamn liar. That's what you are, Obi-Wan.
He sure is. Old man.
You know exactly who that is.
Slade, you're next and fourth.
So I have a quote here, and maybe you can help me decipher what it's from. Because I just wrote the quote with no context, but I don't remember what it's from. It says, "You're not alone, neither are you." I'm guessing that's Rey and Ben and Kylo talking to each other.
It could be that, and it could also be Luke talking to Rey.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, either way, it's a good quote.
I liked it. But I liked it. That's what matters.
Yeah, true. All right.
So going back to, since I can't use that because it's not real then, because I have no idea what it's from. I should have put more context. Something we talked about earlier on, before we get onto our likes and dislikes, I think Yoda's discussions with Luke. Overall, I liked it. I did. I liked the way that Yoda sees things totally differently than Luke, and you get this total other aspect. Because you're even starting to empathize and understand what the things Luke is saying. Like, oh man, maybe he's on to something here, that it all does need to go away, which is the same message that Kylo has, is it all just needs to go away. They're on the same path, which is pretty cool, but they never really connect it. You have to connect the dots yourself. But Yoda's like, dude, just stop, shut up, blow up that tree, do this thing. And he's like, the pass on, I told you to pass on what you have learned. You know, everything, the mistakes, all the bad stuff, all of it. Yeah,
the quote you
said. That was Kylo and Rey before Luke catches them Force Skyping. So that's in the hut where it was raining. Yeah, which I guess that's cheating because I said that was already one of my likes. But yeah. So back onto that. Yoda and his teachings, you get even more of it in this, which I can go with Yoda teachings all day.
I did like that Yoda still had his quirky
yeah,
as a Force ghost.
When he was laughing and stomping his feet.
Yeah. Like nothing has changed for that guy in the afterlife.
I don't know why he still needs his cane though as a Force ghost. Why is he limping?
Thanks for stopping by, Radio Rebellion. Appreciate you.
Hey, see you, buddy.
I don't know, man. The limp, the force limp. Maybe that wasn't because of pain. Maybe that was his pimp walk.
I see. That's why I bring these things up, because you guys have great explanations.
Could be a pimp walk. Who knows?
I appreciate you guys.
His pimp laugh is amazing. All right, Mara, you're next up. You're fourth.
I loved Reylo in general. I'm a shipper. At first, I wasn't. Ship him.
Before we move on, someone said
shipping.
Someone said shipping on our podcast. So Cam, when Cam watches this or listens to this, shout out to you, buddy.
Oh, Cam.
The Gallus, what was it? Gallus Rex? What did he say?
Mari, do you remember this at all?
No.
Were you listening then?
I don't.
So, one of the segments we had was the BSP ship of the week, which literally the week before we did it, it was supposed to be your favorite spaceship. Like Cam went back at us with a relationship. So that was a funny episode. I don't even remember which one it was. But
my god, that's amazing.
And he's sitting there like, I thought it was kind of awkward. You guys want to talk about relationships, but I was going to do it.
We love you, Cam.
Oh my gosh. I'm still working on getting through the backlog of episodes.
I ship Reylo. Absolutely.
Yeah. At first I didn't. I was like, this is wrong. What's happening? And then like I've seen it like 3 or 4 times at this point. And it kept growing on me. And then in the last movie, it grew even more, obviously. Mm-hmm. But
that's just that's a testament to Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
Particularly Adam Driver, because he is the bad guy. He's done some really shitty things.
Yeah.
People are still kind of rooting for him to like find happiness, which is crazy. Slade, how many times have you seen this movie?
5 or 4. Not a lot.
I think I've seen it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was at least 2, probably 3, but I only remember 2 in the theater.
Yeah, I saw it twice in the theater.
Last week, and then however many times in between then.
I saw
probably 5.
Yeah, the second time I saw it was in the Air and Space Museum here in DC.
Cool.
And Bria was there as an Imperial officer because
nice.
The 501st was there. Also, they had the heat cranked because it was like December, but the heat was cranked. And if you've ever been there, the seats are about that big.
Yeah.
I'm not a small person. The girl beside me with her first date, it was like we were on the date. We were sharing popcorn. This is pre-COVID, so we're good.
Right, yeah.
All right, so
Danny also ships Raylo, so me and Danny we bond a lot on these. Yeah,
I think a lot of people do. I've had to mute some folks on Twitter because there are people who take it way too far, in my opinion. So I've had to mute some people who are just bizarre, like going into the actor's personal life because they think they should be together in real life.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, no.
Don't do that.
No.
All right, so my next oof, boy, let's see here. I'm gonna go with Luke and Leia's reunion, or should I say,
so sweet.
Luke, because it was his force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How powerful was Luke Skywalker? I mean, it's unreal. That whole thing he did, unreal. But yeah, I really like that. I did like that they brought the dice back again to make that a thing. But yeah, that was cool. Who did when Luke was walking out? Who did he stop and wink at?
3PO.
3PO. That's what it was. Did not. You know what? I'm gonna throw another dislike in. I did not like 3PO this movie.
Why? Any reason?
It just felt like he was over the top 3PO. I don't know. Actually, no. It felt like it was Anthony Daniels and not 3PO. Not to say that I dislike Anthony Daniels, but nobody likes Anthony Daniels more than Anthony Daniels.
This
Slade,
is true.
your next like, sir.
Same general area as the Luke and Leia reunion was the Luke and Kylo confrontation.
Battle.
The battle. Yeah. I had no idea the first time I watched it. I missed all the little clues of his foot sliding and the salt not moving, all that little shit. Didn't catch it.
Yep, me neither.
I thought it was awesome. I loved him coming out. Again, though, with this stupid freaking Star Wars villains, not a thing on this movie. It's just overall stupid freaking Star Wars villains. Hey, let everyone get away because I want to blow up this guy. No, dummy. More.
Yeah, let's talk about that whole scene here. And if it's one of your likes, Mari, I'm sorry, we can still talk about it. But that when Luke comes out of the base and that visual of from behind him looking at all the guerrilla walkers,
quite literally my next like.
Yeah, incredible. And then when he sends every gun we got on that man, and then they do it, and he's that incredible. But
I like it.
My favorite part of the whole scenario, the whole scene, the whole series of events, is when Hux looks over and goes, "Do you think you got him?" I love that.
Yeah, it's so good.
And there's another part that really makes me laugh, and it's probably just me, when Kylo and Luke are sparring verbally. He's like,
"Oh, don't say it."
I'm sorry, Ben. I bet you are. I love that.
There's some parts, okay, like I bet you, I'm sure you are. Whichever it is that he says. There's some writing in this movie that I really find questionable.
Yeah.
Like that passed multiple script revisions, really? Really?
I guess they were just he was in the moment and emotional. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crate is incredible. A lot of people in the comments are commenting on it. It's so cool. Like it's just the whole scene where they come out in the shit bucket spacecraft things, whatever they are, the speeder bikes, and the red dust kicking up. That's so cool.
I was so confused by that at first. I was like, are the machines bleeding all over the sand? What's happening?
I like the guy who tastes the salt. Which was it the Rogue One director, or was it the guy beside him? I think it was the guy beside him who tasted it when they were in the trench.
I think
it was the director was beside him. Gareth, is that his name? I'm totally blanking. Fuck. Mari, your turn, I think.
Yes. This is true.
This is true. BB-8. Since you stole my real one,
sorry.
What were you saying?
I was gonna say this is your last one, but we can do honorable mentions for likes and dislikes if you want.
BB-8 operating the ATST.
Yeah, I call that the BBST.
Yes, oh, it's so good. I love BB-8. He's an amazing droid.
Did they make a Funko of that?
Yeah, they make a bunch of them. I think I have at least 2, but there might be like 5 renditions of him in Funko. There's one that I got in one of the like special edition loot crates where it's the thumbs up one.
No, is there a BB-8 in the ATST Funko?
Oh, I don't think so.
This is one of the operators.
That's
BB-8 signed your card.
Yeah.
You have a BB-8 signature? I'm so jealous.
It's right next to my General Grievous and Snap Wexley. No, yeah, the BBST. I love that. I even wrote BBST LOL. No shame. All right. Geez, my next and final. Let's see here. There's a lot of really cool stuff, but you know what I'm gonna go with? Oh God, there's 2.
Don't take my last like.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'll just
wait. You have 2 more likes.
No, this is my 5th.
I started.
Yeah, and you already
I
had your
did 5. Yeah.
Yeah, you did 5. I'm keeping track this time, folks. For people who watch this, I never keep track. I keep track this time.
Well, may the force be with you.
When Luke is teaching Rey the Force, and he tells her to reach out, and she reaches out with her hand, her actual hand, and he hits her with a stick. She goes, "Oh, I feel it!" And Daisy Ridley's comedic timing is amazing. And she's like, "Oh, you meant reach out?" Like, "Oh, okay."
You can tell she's having like a really hard time stifling a laugh in there. Like it kind of took me out, but at the same time I was like, "Oh, Daisy Ridley, I love you. Like you can do no wrong."
I love that scene. I love Daisy Ridley. She's incredible.
She's so good.
Did you know she sang on the Barbra Streisand latest record?
No.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until today. That was today's year old. All right, so we went through 5 ups and 3 downs for The Last Jedi. I know Slade has got a handful more of dislikes. I'm assuming you have a couple more likes. Who knows? So I'm going to read some of my honorable mentions for likes here. The Caretakers. I thought their bits were hilarious. When they're pushing that cart and the part of that boulder that Rey cuts comes down and destroys it, and they kind of look up.
I like that part.
Anytime Rey is training with her lightsaber by herself, incredible.
Yeah.
The Luke versus Kylo, like Sid said, I completely missed the signs as well. Luke accepting the Force again and coming back into the Force, crazy powerful for me. I love that. And that scene where he's about to die, and like the suns are setting, and he just
gorgeous.
That's one of my likes. Also,
incredible. Kylo's TIE Defender, that's at Galaxy's Edge. Love that ship. That's silly. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this movie. Oh, and Leia using her blaster from A New Hope again. It was on stun, but I guess she was on stun the first time she used it, I think.
Yeah.
Or does she just shoot that? So yeah, anything else you guys want to talk about for The Last Jedi?
So I got a curveball for you here. So it's with that Luke scene at the end of the movie. Yes, it's gorgeous. Problem that I had, and I'm saying this past tense, so bear with me, that I had, is also a big one a lot of people have online that I see. And I don't Reddit or twit that like you do, twittering. But I do see a lot of people talk about like, really, that's how Luke Skywalker dies? That's how the greatest Jedi in a generation, maybe even ever, dies? And that's actually what I wrote, because it even bugged me then on my rewatch. That's how Luke dies? ? And then right then I thought, that's how Obi-Wan died. That's basically the same exact thing. They're giving themselves up to pass on into the next world on their own terms ahead of when they're supposed to, so they can be a guide to the people in the future. And I was like, well, shit, I'm good with it now. It bugged me for, what is this, 5 years?
Has it really been 5 years?
It has to have been, right? It's I don't know, at least 4.
2017, right?
2017, yeah.
3 years.
Closer to 4.
Wait, 2017?
Mm-hmm.
18. Oh yeah, because it was every other year. Yeah. So this bugged me for 2.5 years. But then on our rewatch, when I made the note, that's how Luke dies. I had that revelation of, well, shit, that's how Obi-Wan died. And okay, I'm cool with this now. I like it. And it was neat.
I didn't have any issues when I first watched it the way he died, because the way I saw it was he exerted so much after not doing anything for God knows how long. He exerted so much of himself into the Force to literally save the rebellion, and everything he did there. He said goodbye to Leia. Like, I was fine with it. I was bummed he died. Obviously, I'm bummed Luke Skywalker died, but the way he did it and the reasons he did it, I was fine with.
That it actually took me rewatching it this time to be like, okay, yeah, I'm good with this, because I actually wasn't a fan of it at first either. But after this rewatch, I was like, you know what? It was a combination of the two. Like, he is letting himself go, but there's also the fact that he did exert after being absent within the Force for however long, and now all of a sudden he's projecting himself on some planet.
I mean, that
is
something that I do have still a little bit of an issue with. this idea that you can exert yourself so much using the Force that it kills you. So that never happened in the Clone Wars, in any of the old stuff, in any of the literature, in any of the anything. When people are desperate, when they have to do something, we've never seen that. And then, so I don't got to talk about it next week, we see it 3 times in 2 movies. Because in the next week movies, it happens to Leia and it happens to Ben. They exerted themselves so much using the Force that's what happens. And it just seems like this way of killing people that's really weird. And I think why a lot of people disliked it at first, even if maybe they ended up liking it later on, was because we've had Luke Skywalker forever, and we've been looking forward to him coming back and being the hero still. Luke's going to come back, and he's going to save the day. We had a bit of what the rebellion thought. Luke's going to come and do this thing. And then Luke didn't do the thing. Luke died. And we're like, no, he's not supposed to die, especially like that. He's supposed to die in a actual saving of things, which I guess he did. But yeah, that's my thought. Any other likes?
I have, before I forget, when the Falcon comes in, Rey and Chewie on Crate. First of all, 2Men2 Star Wars Network, check them out here on YouTube and Twitter. He says that Luke does the most Jedi thing a Jedi can do, and he's right.
Absolutely.
Hey, Farm Boy's in the house. You missed all of our ups and all of our downs, but
yep, time to sign off. Bye.
Good for you. This will live on YouTube for eternity. But anyway, when the Falcon comes in on Crate, and they send literally every single person on the entire First Order after it, and Ben's like, man, they hate that ship. So I have 2 questions for you guys, one about Broom Boy and one about the final scene that we see of the rebellion. So Broom Boy, when Broom Boy happened in the theater, what were your thoughts? Did you think that was going to be somebody, or do you think that was just like a visual representation of the Force can be in anybody? What were your thoughts on it?
Mari?
I mean, I thought he was going to end up being somebody. Like, I didn't know who he might have been. So I definitely had expectations of seeing who this child was and where he was going to be going.
Understanding that the Force pops up in people everywhere around the galaxy, I didn't think he was going to show up again. I thought it was just showing that, the Force lives on. The decoder ring was stupid.
That was another thing that made me think that he was going to be somebody. He had that ring, and so I was like,
Well, Rose gave it to him, but like Rose is literally walking around in her rebellion mechanics jacket. She doesn't need the secret ring to tell people she's in the and why do they have it? It didn't make any sense.
That's fair.
Okay.
Oh, and then the final scene we see of the rebellion. Simplified Danny just commented, I thought he just represented hope for the future. That's what I got to from it. That the Force is anywhere and everywhere.
Because I think that's what Leia was talking about right then too.
Exactly. There's a lot of good stuff we didn't talk about, like the both speeches from I think Holdo and Poe, where they both said basically the same thing, that we're the we'll ignite the light. But Poe used to say we'll ignite the fire to burn the First Order down. So that was cool to see him. He grew a lot from the beginning of this movie to the end of this movie. You could see it like hit him hard like halfway through the movie. He's like, I'm supposed to be an adult here.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else?
And Leia sees it too, because she's like, no, this guy knows what he's doing now. I can trust this guy now. He got his lesson. Follow him.
Poe came a long way. I did like there's a lot of cool droids in this movie like usual. Oh, I know when I forgot to mention, when Poe and BB-8 get back onto the main ship and they're getting out of the X-Wing and BB-8's talking to Poe, and Poe, he goes, Finn, naked, leaking bag. Did you fry a chip? And that the scene where when Poe is about to, he's revving up his NOS, his Fast and Furious NOS on his X-Wing, and he uses that to fly through and blow up all the surface.
Oh, the dreadnought.
Yeah, so cool. Like
that flight was really, or that whole scene was really cool.
That was cool, and I've thought from the beginning that they were going to have Poe be the one that was force sensitive, because in the comics in Shattered Empire, his parents get a literal force sensitive tree as a gift from Luke. And then that first scene where he's flying around and fighting and destroying all those cannons, he puts his arm on the side of the cockpit and he does this crazy, like impossible G-force circle around. Like you'd think he'd have to be somewhat force sensitive just to withstand that.
Yeah.
But then, nope.
Nope.
I mean, he's quite clearly the greatest pilot.
Yeah.
That we've ever experienced in Star Wars, in the expanded universe, even. I mean, I think we talked about this before the next movie came out. And it might have been you or it might have been Cam that said, Poe's probably a better pilot, but Han's a better pilot for the Falcon. But we see even in Rise of Skywalker that, nope, Poe's a better pilot of the Falcon too.
I can't wait to watch this, the next movie to do it.
I'm looking forward to it.
I've only seen it one time. So this will only be my second time seeing this one, which is kind of surprising.
I remember when you were done, me and you were talking on like text or something, and I was talking about Wicket, and you're like, where? I'm like, oh, you didn't even see it.
Totally missed it. Like, what were you talking about? What?
It happens.
All right,
I miss a lot of little things.
VP, any more thoughts?
No, I think that'll do it for this particular episode on The Last Jedi, unless you guys have any parting words.
I do.
Okay.
I was happy with it.
Yeah. Where would it be if you had to sit down and watch a Star Wars movie? Middle of the pack, bottom of the pack, top of the pack?
It would be number 11.
Number 11. That's fair.
But
doesn't mean you dislike it. It's just
yeah. I don't. I have a lot of nitpicky things with it, you know, but nothing huge. No huge problems with it. It's nothing I'd probably go out of my way to watch. Like I wouldn't go grab the Blu-ray and put it in, unless it's like, you know, my marathon day. But overall, it's solid.
Yeah.
Especially favorite part. Go ahead, name that.
Probably the very first scene with Poe attacking the dreadnought.
Mari?
I was thinking the first Vision.
The Force Connection.
Force Connection.
Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
There is one of those I really dislike, and it's actually part of what Daisy Ridley says when they connect and she's under the Falcon. It's the one where he gets the water on his hands.
Yeah.
The first
He's
thing
shirtless.
I think the first thing he says is, "How are we doing this? You're not. It would kill you."
Yeah.
And then the first thing she says is, "Murderous snake!" Like it's just like really forced.
Yeah.
It just makes me cringe. I don't know.
I like that part with the reveal though of him. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Or I can't see your background. Can you see mine? Like he's just into it, like trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, he's full on Force nerd right there. He's like,
Yeah.
how does this work?
I think my favorite scene is probably their Force connection in the hut with the yeah. Where Uncle Luke walks in on him like, yo.
What does he say? No, or something like that when they're touching.
I think it's just no, yeah.
I really thought when they touched that she was going to get like sucked to Kylo or something, like into his.
Ooh, that would have been fun.
Yeah, like a port key.
But just right. But just the simple things like when they touch her inhale, explains like, oh, she can feel it.
The coffin that she gets in to go to Ben.
Weird.
The escape pod thing.
Oh yeah, that's the Falcon's escape pod.
Yeah.
Straight out of the Wrath of Khan, I think.
Right? Yeah, that part threw me off. I was like, wait, the Millennium Falcon has an escape pod?
Oh, it did in Solo. Until they shot it into the abyss thing.
Oh, the front, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might be in the minority, but I actually have no problems with DJ.
We didn't even mention him. You mentioned him once for talking about BB-8.
Yeah. People didn't like his stutter, but this guy's job, he's been a hacker, a slicer. He's bound to have been shocked to shit. You know what I mean?
That's why he knows he needs the special medal.
Yeah, he learned his lesson. So yeah, I didn't have any issues other than the fact that it was Benicio del Toro because, like I said, like that just stuck out like a sore thumb to me.
I think he's a fabulous actor.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
I did not like the role of DJ.
I really like the execution troopers. They had the black on the helmet and the vibro blade execution axe.
Again, stupid ass villains. Just kill them. Just bang, shoot them. Done. Draw things out.
If anything, we've learned over the years that Star Wars villains are extra. They are extra. They're like super Bond villains, Tell them why. They can't. It's like the Joker and Batman. They can't kill each other. What would I do without you?
Did they speak of that, Farm Boy? I must be like totally blanking on that.
I mean, it was 43 years ago.
And I definitely saw it when it came out.
That's not true. That's not true.
Saw it a couple weeks ago.
I saw it a few weeks ago, but I must have missed that completely. I don't know.
All right, so next week is the last 5UP3DOWNs of the Star Wars saga.
Mm-hmm.
Bum, bum, bum.
What the hell are we going to do after that?
The Ewok movies.
We could watch the Ewok movies.
We could.
I mean, we could just do a 5UP3DOWN for the. We could do both movies in one chunk.
We should reach out to Eric, have him come back on.
We could.
Before we move on, before we close it off, for those of you watching on YouTube or Facebook, right above Slade's head is the child. And you can win that child by going over to Uncanny Nerd's YouTube page, subscribing, and watch the latest video to learn how you can win that child.
Totally free.
It's totally free anywhere in the United States because shipping is a B.
I'll ship it worldwide.
He said worldwide.
Worldwide. Prestige.
I'll spend the extra $10 if someone in Indonesia wins it.
That's fair. Yikes. So yeah, worldwide.
No, yeah. So basically how that works, I got to it's a video we're talking about The Mandalorian, actually. That's how you know how to find it.
Yep. check it
And
out.
in it, and I'll give you guys the secret. It's right about the 30-minute mark. I tell you how you can win the child. You just got to follow the instructions. Nice. I will not put the lightsaber down. I'm playing with the lightsaber.
I got one too.
I'm gonna stop playing with sticks. Mine are
Yours is better. Yours is metal.
Is it? I'm kidding.
Looks metal.
It still works. I have Luke's too, but the battery's died. That's my
Yours even sounds better than mine.
My daughter's favorite toy is the Luke Skywalker Black Series.
Nice.
So yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode. Thanks everybody who's come on and watched and commented. It means a lot and makes it a little more fun, honestly. So next week will be the Rise of Skywalker. Might change it up and do 10 ups and 5 downs.
Whoa.
But who knows? I'm kidding. No, it'll be 5 up, 3 down. So yeah, hopefully we can get David back. David's been under the weather, so keep him in your thoughts and in your force, if you will. And shout out to Cam just for being Cam.
One of these days, I'd like to do a show with Cam.
I know, right? Me too. All right, guys. Well, thanks for taking an hour and 15 minutes to talk to me.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Everybody.